Begin with breaking news out of Pickens County. Multiple law enforcement agencies are involved in a manhunt near the Liberty community. For the latest, we have to go live to WCBI's Quentin Smith. Quentin, what can you tell us right now?
Selena, I'm here on the intersection of Highway 82 and County Road 75 in Pickens County, where investigators tell me they've been out here since 3 o'clock this evening on this manhunt. Now, right now, not a lot of information is being released on the manhunt, but we do know there's multiple agencies involved. We have the Pickens County Sheriff's Department, we have the U.S. Marshals, as well as the Tuscaloosa Police Department. Now, I've been out here for about 30 minutes, and I've seen a helicopter surveying this area looking for the guy in the manhunt. Now, right now, his name isn't being released, or why they're looking for him isn't being released at this time either. We're going to continue to remain out here, and we'll bring you more details as they become available. But for now, reporting live in Pickens County, Quentin Smith, WCBI News.
All right, thanks for that update there, Quentin. And like he said, we will be bringing you the latest as that information becomes available. Meanwhile, a Pontotoc County man is behind bars tonight in connection with an attempted kidnapping and an actual kidnapping early Saturday. WCBI's Allie Martin has more on the suspect who is accused of posing as a law enforcement officer during bogus traffic stops, targeting women.
It didn't take long for authorities to zero in on 44-year-old Lewis Winston Scott after reports came in this weekend of two similar crimes. In one case, a woman reported a man driving a four-door car flashing blue and red lights as she was driving north of Tupelo. When she pulled over, she noticed the suspect coming at her with a knife, and she sped away, calling authorities. The second crime occurred a short time later on I-22 in Union County.
He pulled our victim over on the side of Interstate 22, approached the vehicle. She had her head down looking in her purse for driver's license and identification. When she looked back, he was at the window with a mask, gloves, and a knife, and got her out of her car, abducted her, put her in the car with him. Continued into a rural area in Union County where he raped her.
That victim was taken back to her car and released. Lee County Sheriff Jim Johnson says eyewitness accounts and input from the public led directly to Scott.
In 2000, he was convicted in Union County of sexual battery and kidnapping. He was also convicted at that same time of a similar instance here in Lee County, where he was convicted of sexual battery.
Scott served about 14 years in prison until his release on probation a few months ago. Law officers went to his house to serve a search warrant. Scott had fled, but they took his car and other evidence. The suspect was apprehended and arrested Monday afternoon. Authorities are relieved the convicted sex offender is off the streets.
That's our main focus, is protecting the public, and I'm sure we're just, I know I am, and Sheriff Johnson is as well, just as relieved as they are.
It's a privilege to have surrounding agencies that work together, as Sheriff Edwards said, for the common goal of protecting the general public. And when you get one of these guys off the street, it is rewarding.
It certainly was a team effort. The Pontotoc County Sheriff's Office helped out, and DeSoto County supplied its helicopter for the search. In Tupelo, I'm Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Scott could have his initial appearance in Lee County tomorrow. He will face additional charges in Union County. The search is still on for the suspect or suspects responsible for the murder of 36-year-old Priscilla Carter. The incident happened on July 31st at the Westwood Apartments on Lumpkin Street. Carter was found dead at the scene with a gunshot wound. Crime Stoppers of Northeast Mississippi, along with Tupelo Police Department, is asking for the public's help in identifying the person or persons responsible. Anyone with any information is asked to contact the number on your screen. A new law that took effect July 1st is changing the way law enforcement agencies handle property seizures in criminal cases. Stricter guidelines and more paperwork are now involved in property seizures along the state. Investigators now say that they have 72 hours to get a seizure warrant and affidavit signed by a circuit judge. Chickasaw County Sheriff James Meyer says the clock starts ticking as soon as a suspect is arrested.
Once we get that, we forward it to our district attorney's office, and then they in turn start the seizure, and then they're responsible to send that seizure notice and the warrant to the Bureau of Narcotics, where it will be stored on a database.
That information will be on a public website searchable by case numbers created by the Bureau. The website will have seized property, its value, and the department that seized it published on the site. And time now to turn it over to weather for our first look with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Keith.
Hey, Selena, a lot of cloud cover across our region today. This is our Alpha Insurance time lapse from this afternoon into the evening hours. You can see a little burst of sunshine right there, but most of the area, most of the day had extensive cloud cover. We are cooling on down right now. It's a little taste of fall out there. We got some 60s and low 70s out there. We'll bottom out in the 60s tonight. We've cleared up the rainfall situation, a few light showers earlier today. The bigger rain and storms down here still associated with Harvey. Still a tropical storm down there near Houston. Now it looks like the bulk of the showers will stay to our south tomorrow. Can't rule out a few of those around here. We should be somewhere in the 80s. Our rain chances go up starting Wednesday. More on that in just a few minutes.
And speaking of Harvey, a Tupelo-based ministry is collecting tools to help victims of the storm in Texas. 8 Days of Hope is collecting tools and donations at the Bancorp South Arena through Wednesday. Volunteers say the need is great and any tools will be a huge help during relief efforts.
Folks have been bringing checks by and money donations, so that's been great. We really do need whatever tools. If you go out in your back shed and you see you've got 5 hammers, go ahead and donate those other 4 that you're not using. But people are even going out and buy generators because we'll need a lot of generators.
For more information on how you can help, you can head on over to our website at WCBI.com. The life of a Columbus High School student and softball player is remembered after a tragic car accident. This evening, the community and students gathered on the softball field to remember the life of Taylor Harris. The 16-year-old lost her life early Sunday morning in a car crash on Highway 82. Columbus High students, family, and the community lit candles and prayed to pay their respects. The people who knew her say Taylor had the type of smile that was contagious. Harris was a senior at Columbus High School.
Some pretty nice color briefly this evening. You can see that view right there near Gatman, Mississippi. Also some of these clouds near Kosciuszko. More clouds tomorrow. Rain chances ramp on up later this week. Full details are next. By noon, I think we're going to get back into the 80s tomorrow. Low 80s south, mid 80s to upper 80s farther north. A better chance for some showers across our southern tier. Probably not as much activity farther north, but you can see these clouds moving across the sky here with our Alpha Insurance time lapse from Vernon, Alabama, over there at Durham's Pharmacy. So it was overcast for a good chunk of the day today in our region. Some of you squeezed in a little bit of sunshine, but not a lot of that to be had today. You can see those showers we did have around the region have really gone by the wayside. Farther south today here across central and southern Mississippi, it was a soaker. Some of these spots over here near Natchez and to Macomb down here near Columbia, one that 3 inches of rain in far southwest Mississippi, and that is just the first little salvo coming on in to Mississippi from that what used to be a very strong hurricane, now a tropical storm, still swirling down there near Houston, at 45 with that. The big story from this point forward will continue to be the rain. There's a tornado watch box down here across southern Louisiana and southeastern Texas. The best chance for some strong storms will be across the eastern part of Louisiana, southeastern Texas tonight, and then on the eastern side of this track here, as the remnants track to the northeast Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the eastern side of that will have the best chance for some stronger storms. But tomorrow, the severe threat down to our south. On Wednesday, probably Thursday, perhaps Friday too, we have a risk for some severe weather around here. Not so much gusty wind. We may see some of that. Isolated tornadoes, somewhat possibility here, and also a little bit of flooding too if we do see some of those heavier showers and thunder showers come on in here. So it's all based on the track of Harvey. Here it comes tomorrow. Again, the best rain chance 2 hours south. That moisture gets pulled a little bit farther to the north on Wednesday, so those rain chances going up. As we get into your Thursday, there's the track to our west, I think, and then on the eastern side of it will be some warm, unstable air, some wind glacier action going on, and that may give rise to some of those stronger storms on Friday too. So we have to watch out for a couple of days here of potential strong storms later this week, all because of Harvey that came in last week. So this is the storm that just will not die here in the deep south. The average is close out because of Harvey, the rain throughout the clouds. We should be in the upper 80s to around 90s, so well below that. I'm hopeful that we can clear a lot of this out by football Saturday, but we'll just keep massaging the forecast as we get a little bit closer. Selena?
The high school football season is only 2 weeks old, but the action is already heating up. Robbie has the top 5 plays coming up a little later in sports. Them to become addicted. We talk about the science behind drug addiction in tonight's Health Talk with Baptist.
Hi, I'm Jeanette Manning, Chemical Dependency Counselor at Baptist Behavioral Health Care. I'm going to talk about drug addiction. Drug addiction is a chronic, often relapsing brain disease that causes compulsive drug-seeking behavior. Drug addiction is a brain disease because the abuse of drugs leads to changes in the structure and function of the brain. While for most people, the initial decision to take drug and alcohol is voluntary, over time, the changes in the brain caused by repeated drug abuse can affect a person's ability to make sound decisions. Drugs tap into the brain's communication system and disrupt the way nerve cells travel. Nearly all drugs target the brain's reward system called dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that is located in the brain and controls movement, emotion, motivation, and feelings of pleasure. As a person continues to abuse drugs and alcohol, the brain adapts to the dopamine surges by producing less dopamine or reducing dopamine receptors. The user must keep abusing drugs to bring their dopamine function back to normal levels, and it will take more drugs to achieve that goal. Why do people become addicted while others do not? No single factor can predict whether or not a person will become addicted to drugs and alcohol. The risk for addiction is influenced by a person's biology, including genetic factors, social environment, and age. However, drug addiction is a preventable disease, and there are programs that can help with this problem. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist, when we will discuss signs and symptoms of addiction.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
An area bank is helping area senior citizens protect themselves and their finances. Bancorp South hosted an elderly abuse presentation this morning. The audience picked up tips about understanding credit scores, common scams, and how to choose a good caregiver. Today's seminar was held at Trinity Place. Coming up, our top 5 plays from week 2 of high school football and more from MSU, Ole Miss, and Alabama ahead of Saturday's season kickoff next in sports.
Storyline This year's storyline for MSU is how Fitz will be in his second year as the starter.
Coming off a whole offseason as the starter, like the entire spring, summer, all that, big difference, because you're the guy, you're the guy that's going to be leading the offense, so they know that. They're not expecting another guy. No one's making relationships with another guy. It's just y'all. So we had to really work on, just us, building that kind of chemistry as a team.
Coming in, getting ready for the game, a routine, a preparation, all those different things. I think that's a big advantage you have. Last year, the first time back getting ready to go, of adjusting what game plans, how to really study and prepare for the game, and get yourself out on the field ready to play at a high level.
Will be the main signal of the Rebels and 20 receivers for the Rockets, specifically 2 first-state area stars.
Obviously, with DK getting hurt early, I've been very impressed with Coach Peeler and the way he's developed those guys, because those guys are very talented and they have a huge upside. But I've been impressed with the way he's developed them, just their technique and the way they use their hands and the little different techniques in their routes. They've both been very much improved from the spring, and we're looking for big things out of both of them.
With the Crimson Tide, Alabama ready and eager to get it on with third-ranked Florida State. The hype, the excitement surrounding another big season opener means it feels just like a title fight.
It's like a championship caliber game right now. Even though it's the first game of the season, we're preparing for it like it's a championship game. Like, it means a whole lot, which it does, but a lot of people say it's the first game you could lose and still go to the championship. Well, I ain't thinking like that. I'm thinking we winning every single game, and we ain't trying to lose the first one, but I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun to play.
We know who we're going against. Rankings don't really matter to us. We got to go out there and play. We're up against a good opponent, and they're going to bring it, and we got to bring it as well.
So week 1 notable Saturday games: MSU at 3 against Charleston Southern, Ole Miss at 6:30 against South Alabama, Alabama and Florida State at 7, and then BYU LSU just got moved from Houston to New Orleans. They'll play at the Superdome due to the flooding from Hurricane Harvey in the Houston area. That game will be 8:30 p.m. on Saturday. All right, let's recap week 2 of high school football with our top 5 plays. We start at number 5. It's Tricky Tupelo. We're riding the wave with David Hayes on the fake punt as he picks up a first down, would eventually lead to a Stephon McGlone touchdown. Tupelo won big 48-0. And number 4, we go to another wave. It's the Green Wave on West Point. St. James top back boxes captain Jason Brown. Tremendous figure and number 3, we could use the higher model play. We're going to use Jaquan that way. How did he bring that in? A tremendous catch. Road, the one pay dirt is opening to touchdown there. That's what we have the last half of it. And another one to really be anything else, it's the hell of the league, or the hell roof is here. Malik Brown's went into the a big reason why the Jackets outlast Oxford in football game all the way to double overtime. Name. Starkville will be our game of the week, our Carl game of the week for the 3rd consecutive week, as the Jackets will be at West Point. But we have 2 parts to our Carl game of the week. Part 2, we need to you to decide on our Instagram page at WCBI. Part 2 of our Carl Logan Toyota Game of the Week coming up tomorrow on WC 6. For sports, we'll get a Let's Look at Your Forecast.
And we'll just see what happens for the weekend.
I like the cooler temps, though. Those
it
can
feels like
stick
fall
around.
out there
It
right
does,
now.
finally. All right, well, thanks for staying up with us. We hope you have a great rest of your week. Take care.